जय जगन्नाथ फ्रेंड्स, दिस वासुदेव पंडा. वेलकम टू मास्टर इंग्लिश. बोले इंग्लिश प्लस टू सेकेंडरी इंग्लिश द पोटैटो पेलेडी हम पाठ सर थिला किंतु एमसीक्यू आलोचना कर नथले. तो सम सुमन सुमन मते कहला काली काली तो कहितला जे सर तार हम एमसीक्यू टा करिने तो जेहेतु करि नथिले हम एमसीक्यू से एमसीक्यू सेशन दा जे करबा बेले. ओके, सो सेशन दा पाखा पाखी हाफ एन आवर लास्ट करिवो. पाखापाखि हाफ एन आवर रु देखा ना कि काटिदवा नंबर. तो 4 रु 5 सेकेंड समय मिल विदिन दैट 4 to 5 सेकेंड यू टू आंसर द क्वेश्चन. सो वी आर रेडी. जो माने सांग अछंती शेयर कर दवा जा फल रे कोन करबा से माने भी जॉइन होई परिबे. आउ सांग माने जेतबे एमसीक्यू सेशन रे जॉइन करदे बोले जणा पड़े कि केते पाठ पढि छि नहीं. ओके, प्रथम प्रश्न होउची for how long had the author known his grandmother? For how long had the author known his grandmother? तांको जेजे मांकु कवि केते वर्ष हला जानिथिले? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years and 25 years. चारटा ऑप्शन अछि. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 25 years. केते 10 वर्ष, 20 वर्ष, 30 वर्ष और 25 वर्ष अछि ऑप्शन. कोटा ठीक उत्तर. Option B, it is 20 years अंजु कहला and सेटा होची ठीक उत्तर. नहीं बोले. So 20 years होची ठीक उत्तर. For 20 years the author had known his grandmother. 20 होची ठीक उत्तर. Beginners सुमन. ओके, परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिए. What was hard for the author to believe? What was hard for the author to believe? माने कवि को पई को जिंसटा विश्वास करिया पई बहुत कठिन थिला. ऑप्शन ए his grandfather's death. ऑप्शन B, his grandmother being young and pretty. C, his grandfather being so old. And D, his grandmother's skill of reciting prayer. What was hard for the author to believe? His grandfather's death. Option B, his grandmother being young and pretty. Tanko jejema in comparison to his grandfather, she was young and pretty. So सुंदरी थिले नहीं. तो तेणु से कथाटा तांको विश्वास हो नथिला. सो दिस इज ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. ऑप्शन बी टा होची ठीक उत्तर. पर प्रश्न. What did people not say about the grandmother? What did people not say? Not say. Say no. What did people not say about the grandmother? Option A, she had once been young. Option B, she was pretty. Option C, she was terribly old. D, she had a husband. Koda ठीक उत्तर. What did people not say about the grandmother? Option A, she had once been young, she was pretty, she was terribly old, she had a husband. तले को विषयटा कहो नतले. ठीक उत्तर होछि बिले ऑप्शन सी, she was terribly old. She was terribly old. ए जो ऑप्शन टा ताको बुढ़ी बोली कि कही माने भयंकर भावे बुढ़ी हेछि एक कथा किए कहू नथिले नहीं. ऑप्शन सी. परवर्ती प्रश्न. How had the author's grandmother? How has the author's grandfather been portrayed? छवि रे अथरकर जेजे बापांगु किभली माने किभली फोटो थिला तांकर. ऑप्शन ए, above the mental fees and sorry wearing a big turban, बड़ टोपी गोटे पिंधिथिले. ऑप्शन बी, wearing loose fitting clothes, ढिला कपड़ा पिंधिले. सी, having long white beard, दाढ़ी थिला पूरा धड़ा दाढ़ी थिला. ऑल ऑफ द अबव. ऑप्शन डी. कोटा ठीक उत्तर पिले. Which is correct? Which is correct? Option D. सुमन. ऑप्शन डी होसी करेक्ट पिले. अंजु बिगनर आज. यस, ऑप्शन डी. ऑप्शन डी हला ऑल ऑफ द अबव. सबु गुडी को ठीक थिला. तांके से माने बड़ पगड़ी पिनथिले, देन लूज फिटिंग क्लॉथ्स पिनथिले, हैविंग लॉन्ग व्हाइट बर्ड भी तांकर थिला नहीं पिले. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखियो. हाउ ओल्ड डिड द ऑथर्स ग्रैंडफादर अपियर? ऑथरकर जेजे बापा केते वर्ष वयस्क देखा जाउथिले फोटो रे. ऑप्शन ए 110 years 110. ऑप्शन बी 100 years 100 वर्ष. ऑप्शन सी 90 years 90 वर्ष. ऑप्शन डी होसी 99 years. 100 सुमन पंडा 100 hochi thik utara. He just looked like 100 years old. Yes or no? And they might have only grandchildren. So he was not only a sort of person who might have wife or son. परवर्ती प्रश्न होची कौन पिले what seemed absurd and undignified on the part of the grandmother. जेजे मांकर को कथा absurd और undignified बोली लागुथला माने तांकू रियल भलिया लागू नथिला पेले नहीं पिले ऑप्शन हला her reciting for prayers, b her stories, c the game she played as a child, and d her marriage to grandmother. कोटा absurd and undignified भलिया लागुथला पेले. What seemed absurd and undignified on the part of the grandmother? Option C, the game she played as a child. Suman. The game she used to play as a child. Option C, Anju. Yes. What seems absurd and undignified on the part of the grandmother. परवर्ती प्रश्न होची how was the grandmother like? कविंकर माने लेखकंकर जेजेमा केवली थिला. How was the grandmother like? How was the grandmother like? Option A, tall, fat and slightly bent. Option C, old, fat and short. Option D, C, short, fat and slightly bent. Then D, old, weak and slightly bent. That option is. प्रथम प्रश्न थिला tall, fat, slightly bent. Option B, old, fat and short. Then C, short, fat and slightly bent. D, old, weak and slightly bent. Option C. Okay, option C. Beginner Radash, Shuman Panda. Option C uchi. She was short, fat and slightly bent. Option C is the correct option. ठीक उत्तर होची. She was short, fat and slightly bent. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिए. Why was her face a crisscross of wrinkles? Why was her face a crisscross of wrinkles? ता मुह सारा माने लोचा कोचा हेथिला बोली काहे की कुह जाइछि. Option A, due to disease रोग पाई. Option B, due to her old age. Option C, due to scratches made by her grandchildren. Option D, due to an accident. Which is correct? कोटा ठीक. So why was her face a crisscross of wrinkles? रोग पाई. Option B, due to her old age, वृद्धावस्था पाई. See, due to scratches made of our grandchildren, माने नाती नातुणी माने को रामपुड़ी दिदले सेही पाई. Option B, Shuman, Bigneraj, Anju, बढ़िया. Option B, due to her old age, is the correct answer. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिबा. According to the author, his grandmother could not have been pretty, but she was always. According to the author, कविंका अनुजाई, लेखकंका अनुजाई, his grandmother could not have been pretty. से सुंदर, attractive नथिला, but she was always just. Option A, wrinkled, old, beautiful, and bent. There is the option. According to the author, his grandmother could not have been pretty, but she was always just. Option A, wrinkled, old, beautiful, bent. ठीक उत्तर होची. It was option C. She was beautiful. सुंदर थिला. Yes or no? से कहतले attractive नथिला, but she was beautiful according to the author. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिबा. परवर्ती प्रश्न, why did the grandmother always have one hand on the waist? जेजेमा सबु बेले ता अंटारे गोटे हाथ रखुतले काहे की? कारण कोन? Option A, her waist was fanning because तांकर अंटारे पेन होतला. Option B, to balance her stoop. तांकर जो बैंड थिला ताकू बैलेंस करिबा पे. C, as her hand was broken, तांकर हाथ भांगी देतला. Option D, her leg was broken कारण गोड़ भांगी देतला. Option B, to balance her stoop. सुमन कहला. Option B, to balance her stoop. तांकर से बैंड बुढ़ा बुढ़ी वाले जे तोड़ वृद्धावस्था रे अंटाटा ये ही जाय पेले से अंटा को बैलेंस करियो पे से कोन करतले गोटा हाथ रखी कि चलुतले. Option B होची करेक्ट आंसर. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिया. परवर्ती प्रश्न होची, what the grandmother, sorry, why were the grandmother sleep moving, why were the grandmother sleeps moving in inaudible prayer? Inaudible prayer रे तांगर lips काहे की सब बेले चालुतला. Why? Option A, because she was old. B, Because she said the prayer silently. Option C. Because she could not speak. D. Because she was feeling cold. तो कहीं से माने लिप्स हलुथिला बोली कि कुआ जायछि constantly inaudible prayer. Option A, Atila because she was old. Option B, because she said the prayer silently. Option C, because she could not speak. D, because she was feeling cold. Which is correct? Option C. Shananda Naik. Option C, it is because she could not speak. This is wrong. Option B, Shuman Panda. Option B is correct because she said the prayer silently. कारण थिला से प्रेयर को साइलेंटली कहतला आमे जनक साथे साइलेंटली कथा होतला so this is the movement of lips बुझी होची परवर्ती प्रश्न देखा how did the grandmother say her prayers while getting the author ready for school जेते बेले से जे माने author को रेडी करथला स्कूल पाए से कौन करथला हाउ डिड द ग्रैंडमदर से हर प्रेयर्स से केमती से गीत मंत्र प्रार्थना कहथला ऑप्शन ए इन अ स्वीट वॉइस मीठा स्वर रे ऑप्शन बी इन अ साइलेंट वॉइस चुपचाप ऑप्शन सी इन अ मोनोटोनस सिंगिंग ऑप्शन डी इन अ फास्ट मैनर प्रश्न दिथिला हाउ डिड द ग्रैंडमदर से हर प्रेयर्स व्हाइल गेटिंग द ऑथर रेडी फॉर स्कूल Option A is wrong. It's option C. Shuman, Anju, Bigneraj. Option C, that is in a monotonous sing-song. That is correct. Option C, in a monotonous sing-song is correct. Bigneraj, why are you converting your answer? Don't convert the answer. Paravati Prashna dekhiya. Paravati Prashna, what was the breakfast that the author had while going to school? What was the breakfast that the author had while going to school? School को जिया बेले कौन जलखिया से माने कौन खाउतले? Option A, chapati with butter and sugar. B, chapati and curry. C, chapati and jaggery. And D, chapati and butter. So what was the breakfast that the author had while going to school? जेतर जाउतले कौन खाउतले? Option A, chapati with butter and sugar. B, chapati and curry. C, chapati and jaggery. D, chapati and butter. Option A, chapati with butter and sugar. Option A होची ठीक उत्तर स्टील चपाती तापर बटर टिके स्प्रेड करा होतला चीनी टिके पके देउतला सुगर टिके स्प्रेड करा होतला सेटा से माने खाई की जाउतले परवर्ती प्रश्न Why did the grandmother carry stale chapati with her? Why did the grandmother carry stale chapati with her? काहे की जेजेमा बासी रोटी नै की जाउतला ता सहित Option A, for the temple priest. B, for the author's friends. C, for the village dogs. D, for the beggars near the temple. Suman Panda, village dogs. Option C, for the village dogs. Gara kukkura mananga pai. So option C. Option C holds it. Why did the grandmother carry the stale chapati with her? For the village dogs. It is option C. Anju, Bignaras and Suman. Very good. Well played. The author's school was just to the temple. The author's school was just to the temple. Option A, attached. B, close. C, adjacent. And D, near. The author's school was just to the temple. Solve the question. The author's school was just to the temple. It was attached. Option A. It was attached. Option A. The author's school was attached to the temple. So option A होची ठीक उत्तर. Attached option A. एटा होची ठीक उत्तर. नियर नुआ से टेंपल सहित अटैच होई थिला कारण से पुजारी जे थिले से ही पढौतले पाठ. परवर्ती प्रश्न. अच्छा परवर्ती प्रश्न. What did the village priest teach the students? What did the village priest teach the students? Village priest पिलामन को कौन पढ़ौतले? Option A, scripture पुराण. Option B, alphabet and meaning prayer अक्षर एवं सकाल प्रार्थना. Then moral lessons नीति शिक्षा. D, science विज्ञान पढ़ौतले. कौन पढ़ौतले? So what did the village priest teach the students? Option B. It's alphabet and morning prayer. Beginner Ardas. Nicely told. It was correct. So the teach the students alphabet and morning prayer. Parvati Prashna. So what is the meaning of the word chorus? What is the meaning of the word chorus? Chorus sabdara artha kana? Option A. Individually. B. In a group. C. Between two people. D. Working hard. What is the meaning of the word chorus? Chorus sabdara artha kana? Individually, in a group, between two people, and working hard. It is option B, in a group. Chorus stands for group. So in a group. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिए. परवर्ती प्रश्न होचे पिले what were not taught to the author at the English school? What were not taught to the author in the English school? English school रे तांको कोण पढ़ा हो नथिला. What was exactly? English words, Western science, scripture and music lesson. ये चारटा ऑप्शन अछि हम बकरे. What was not taught to the author at the English school? Scripture. Shuman kala scripture. Scripture is option C. Yeah. Scripture माने पुराण पौराणिक किंवदंती पौराणिक तथ्य विषय से मन को पढ़ाऊ नथिला. परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिया. What did the grandmother do in her leisure in the city? शहर को गला परे ताकू जो अवसर समय टिक मिलुथिला सेही समय रे जेजेमा कोन करूथला. What did the grandmother do in her leisure in the city? Option A. Sang prayers, प्रार्थना करूथला. B. Read scriptures. C. Fed sparrows. And D. Fed pigeons. कोन करूथला पिले. What did the grandmother do in her leisure in the city? Sang prayers, read scriptures, fed sparrows, and fed pigeons. It is option C, Anju. Very good. Shuman Panda. Beginner Adas. Option C means feeding sparrows. से घर चटिया मन को खोथला. तार जो माने शहर को गला परे भी तार लीजर समर से कोन करथला घर चटिया मन को खाइबा को दोथला. And this was the happiest happen or other day when she was living in the town. परवर्ती प्रश्न क्या? परवर्ती प्रश्न हो जे पिले कोन पिले? Yes. So why was the grandmother distressed when the teachings when the teachings in English school? Sorry, why was the grandmother distressed with the teachings in English school? English school ro पाठ पढ़ा विषय से distress ले काहेंगे? Option A. Because there was much emphasis on alphabets. Option B. There were no lessons on God and scripture. B. Due to teaching of music. And D. Due to teaching of science. Prashna देला. Why was the grandmother distressed with the teachings in English school? Option B. There are no lessons on God and scriptures. So Mama, beginners Anju. Baba मैं समझता ठीक कही जे. Because there were no lessons on God and scripture, that's why she was disturbed. Sorry, she was distressed. परवर्ती प्रश्न. What was the opinion of the grandmother about music? Music की नहीं की जेजेमारो opinion कौन थिला? What was the opinion of the grandmother about music? Option A. She supported music lessons classes. Option B. Music had soothing effects. Option D. Music had lewd association. Option D. Music was essential for overall development. So what is the opinion of the grandmother about music? Option B. It is music had soothing effect. This is wrong. Option C is Shuman. Music had lewd association. Option C is correct. According to the grandmother, music had lewd association. Music होची छोटो लोक मानकर काम बोली से कहूतला. It is the monopoly of harlots and beggar, according to her. परवर्ती प्रश्न. परवर्ती प्रश्न थिला पिले. While going to abroad, what did the author cherish the most? While going abroad, जते बेले से गले हैं से जते बेले विदेश को गले. While going abroad, what did the author cherish the most? कौन से साहित्य की नहीं की जाई थले? Option A. love of his family, option B, care of his mother, C, affection of his grandmother, D, his grandmother's kiss on his forehead. कौन शेष सिंबल हिसाब से साहित्य की नहीं की जाइथिला बोली कहा जायछि कल्परे ऑप्शन डी दिस इज इट्स ग्रैंडमदर किस ऑन हिज फॉरहेड moist imprint. I cherish the moist imprint of my grandmother's lips at the last contact between she and me. परवर्ती प्रश्न when did the author come back home केते वर्ष पर से फेरिले घर को ऑथर जो फेरिले घर को एब्रोड गला पर केते वर्ष पर से फेरिले ऑप्शन है आफ्टर 4 years आफ्टर 5 years आफ्टर 6 years and after 2 years केते वर्ष पर से फेरिले पिले आफ्टर हाउ मेनी years did the author return home केते वर्ष पर फेरिले it was option B after 5 years option B yes option B after 5 years is the right answer 5 वर्ष पर से फेरिले परवर्ती प्रश्न देखिबा परवर्ती प्रश्न कोन पिले परवर्ती प्रश्न हला what did the grandmother sing collecting the women of the neighborhood पड़ोसी स्त्री मान को डाकी जेजेमा कौन गाइला पिले को गीत को टाइप रो गीत से गाउतला ऑप्शन है और प्रेयर्स तार प्रार्थना से करतला बी होम कमिंग ऑफ वॉरियर्स योद्धा मान को घर बाहुडा गीत गाउतला सी रिसेप्शन सॉन्ग फॉर द ऑथर एंड डी स्क्रिप्चर को प्रकार गीत से गाउतला व्हाट डिड द ग्रैंडमदर सिंग कलेक्टिंग द वुमेन ऑफ द नेबरहुड ऑप्शन बी होम कमिंग ऑफ वॉरियर्स सीटा होसी भूल उत्तर बी is correct B homecoming of warriors is the right answer परवर्ती प्रश्न होची what did grandmother tell all the family members after getting ill असुस्थ हैला परे grandma कौन बोली कहला घर लोक मान what did grandmother tell all the family members option A to call the doctor डाको B to bring her holy books मो पाई मोर माने holy books आनी के दियो C to bring her a new rosary जे मो पाई गोटे नवा जपमाला आनी के दियो and D that her end was near जे तार शेष निकट माने शेष समय आसी गला कौन कहला से what did the grandmother say it is option D that her end was near D her end was near जे तार शेष समय आसी गला से आउ बंचिबो नाही ए कथा किए कहला the grandmother परवर्ती प्रश्न okay how did they know that she was dead how did the family members know that she was dead परिवार लोग केमति जानिले से मोला बोले के ऑप्शन है she closed her eyes because she closed her eyes कारण तर आखी बंद गला B the rosary fell from her fingers ता हाथरु जपामाला पड़ी गला C the doctor declared her dead डॉक्टर ताकू डेड घोषणा कले एंड ऑप्शन D her last prayer was said loudly her last prayer option B and जो B the rosary fell from her lifeless finger जेतबे ता हाथुरु माळ पड़ी जाईची घर लोक जानिले जे से मरि गला बोली परवर्ती प्रश्न देखा why did the family members stop halfway in the courtyard why did the family members stop halfway in the courtyard अगना रे गला बेलु को परिवार रो समस्त लोक अधा बाटरे रही गले काहे की ऑप्शन ए there were hundreds of ants चारियाडे पिंपुड़ी गदा हितले बी there were thousands of sparrows चारियाडे हजार हजार घर चटिया थिले सी as there were thousands of monkeys हजार हजार मांकड़ थिले डी as there were hundreds of dogs which is correct option B as there were thousands of sparrows कारण थिला हजार हजार घर चटिया जेजेमा जोठी पड़ी थिला सेठू बारंडा पर्यंत without chirruping she mane silently बस गए as they were mourning the grandmother's death परवर्ती प्रश्न why did the sparrow not take notice of the bread crumbs lying on the floor why did the sparrows not take notice of the bread crumbs lying on the floor चट्टान रे पसिथिबा पड़ीथिबा रुटी टुकड़ा को से माने नोटिस कले नहीं काहे की why did the sparrows not take notice of the bread crumbs lying on the floor ठीक उत्तर कौन ठीक उत्तर होची ऑप्शन कहिदवा दे नेवर एट ब्रेड क्रम्स बी द ब्रेड क्रम्स वेर स्टिल सी दे वर आल्सो मॉर्निंग द डेथ ऑफ ग्रैंडमदर से माने भी दुख प्रकाश करतले डिड दे had come to eat chapatis ऑप्शन दे देले कोटा ठीक उत्तर इट इज ऑप्शन सी सुमन या बिगनर आज यस सी सी होची दे वर आल्सो मॉर्निंग द डेथ ऑफ ग्रैंडमदर कारण से माने भी जेजेमार मृत्यु रे दुख प्रकाश करूतले पिले परवर्ती प्रश्न देखबा व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड रिब्यूक रिब्यूक शब्द अर्थ कौन आर ई बी यू के रिब्यूक what is the meaning of the word rebuke to hang to scold slightly to pray for mercy to learn something what is the meaning of the word rebuke rebuke शब्द रो अर्थ कौन पिले rebuke to hang to scold slightly option B Shuman option B to scold slightly this is correct नहीं परवर्ती प्रश्न लास्ट क्वेश्चन शेष प्रश्न हाउ डिड द ग्रैंडमदर sorry the question was how did the grandmother accept accept with resignation what did the grandmother accept with resignation what did the grandmother accept with resignation निज रेजिग्नेशन सहित को जिंस को से एक्सेप्ट करथले ऑप्शन ए सेपरेशन फ्रॉम द ऑथर को ठारू अलग हवा ऑप्शन बी हर फेट तांकर भाग्य सी हर इल हेल्थ तांकर रुग्ण स्वास्थ्य ऑप्शन डी हर अप्रोचिंग डेथ क्वेश्चन दिला व्हाट डिड द ग्रैंडमदर एक्सेप्ट विथ रेजिग्नेशन ठीक उत्तर कोड मिले ठीक उत्तर होची सेपरेशन ऑप्शन ए सेपरेशन फ्रॉम द ऑथर को ठारू जे अलगा ही गला सेटा को से एक्सेप्ट करनाले लास्ट क्वेश्चन बोनस क्वेश्चन गोटे बोनस क्वेश्चन हला व्हेन वाज द कॉमन लिंक ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप बिटवीन द ऑथर एंड द ग्रैंडमदर स्टॉप्ड व्हेन वाज द कॉमन लिंक ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप बिटवीन द ऑथर एंड द ग्रैंडमदर स्टॉप्ड केते बेले दुई जनक भितरे थिबा जो कॉमन फ्रेंडशिप रो लिंक ता छिंडी गला बोली कह जाय छी व्हेन सो केते बेले छिंडी गला पिले ठीक उत्तर कोन when the author went abroad b when the author joined army c when the author went to university and d when the author got a job चारिटा ऑप्शन अछि तम बकरे when was the common link of friendship between the author and his grandmother stopped option दिला when the author went abroad option b when the author joined army c when the author went to university option c very good because when the author went to the university he was provided a separate room तांको पई गोटे घर दिया गला स्वतंत्र घर दिया गला आ दु जन को भितर जो कॉमन लिंक ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप तिला गोटे जगह रे रहउतले सेटा भी सरी गला सो ऑप्शन सी when the author went to university is the correct option ये तिला the portrait of LID रो क्वेश्चन आंसर एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चन आंसर आसंता खाली ट्राई करछु ग्रामर क्लास करिया पे बोले डायरेक्ट इंडायरेक्ट स्पीच के वॉइस चेंज तो 8टा टाइम होची तमरो 8टा ठीक अछि आ आसंता रविवार दिन हमर तो परीक्षा हबो ए रविवार हम मो एक्चुअली बाहर थली भूली गली आसंता रविवार दिन परीक्षा पाई मु भूली भी नहीं कोनोसी भी कंडीशन रे सो सी यू ऑन tomorrow right okay at 8 PM bye take care जय जगन्नाथ।